you can break some blocks, in which case if you actually hit the top left block with your head, you'll actually be able to make a vine appear. If you climb up the vine, it will take you to another area of the stage with another warp zone. Up there will be a warp zone that will actually take you to the 8th world of the game. Just like the first cave level in 1-2, you can actually ride across the top again. However, if you make it over to the top of it like we did in the first area, it'll actually take you to another warp zone which will warp you to World 5. "4-3 is another one of these treetop type levels, and we're going to have a lot of these different platforms such as the ones that we saw that have the bounce in them. "4-4 is the first of the castles that has a maze to it. You have to start off by running across the top area first, being sure to avoid the fireballs the best you can. The next area, you're going to have to jump up and go in between here and get to the bottom, and then run across the bottom to get past this area. Once you're past that, it's time for another Bowser showdown, which I quickly jump over to defeat him, and we get to visit with another one of the Toads. "5-1 is one of those levels I always considered a snow world in the game. While there was no difference in terms of your platforms, as we would see in later Mario games with ice-type platforms, the trees did turn to white, which they were also in the night world, but I never really seemed to notice until this world. In 5-2, the bullet bills become even more prevalent than they have been so far. The bullet bills are different cannons that stand still and fire large bullets at you. The bullets themselves are actually what is considered the bullet bill. We also have a large amount of hammer brothers, which are probably the trickiest enemy to deal with in the game. They throw out lots of hammers and then jump from platform to platform, working their way up and down. So if you can, take out the hammer brothers with a fireball, or wait for them to go up to a platform, get underneath of them, and deliver a shot with a jump up. "5-3 is another treetop level, except bullet bills are consistently flying at you. So not only do you have to deal with the enemies and platforms, you're also going to have to deal with all the bullet bills coming at you. So try to do your best to avoid them, and you can also jump on top of them to also get them off screen real quick. Thankfully though, the level's not too long as we reach the end, and now we go into the 5th castle of the game. "5-4, as you can see, is actually very similar in design to the second castle we've dealt with. It just has a few more perils to deal with, as well as a few more of those fireballs to mess with. World 6 is another one of the night levels, however the trees in this one are actually green, unlike the first night level. We also have to deal with the Lakitu in the first level, throwing down some spiny eggs at us. If you can get up top, you can actually jump on top of the Lakitu to take him out, and then you don't have to deal with him for the rest of the level. On this block in 6-2, you can see when you hit it, a vine comes out of it. There's several of these throughout the game, and this is the first one I'm actually going to show. When you climb up, you actually get taken to a cloud part, where you can collect a lot of extra coins by riding along a platform. After landing back down, we have some more piranha plants to deal with coming out of the pipes. Just be slow to move across them before you end up reaching the end of the level. Six 3 is a level that I consider is completely covered in snow, as we are on a treetop-like level, except everything is either white or grayish. We also have some of those bullet bills coming directly at us again, so you have to be careful to avoid them as well. Entering the 6th castle of the game, you can pretty much know what to expect from the castles at this point. Be very careful when dodging in and out of all the rotating fireballs as we reach the end, jump over Bowser to defeat him. The only addition this time is that Bowser will actually throw hammers at you, just like the Hammer Brothers, so wait for an opening between the hammers before jumping over him. World 7-1 is outside during the daytime again with the snow-colored white trees. There's a ton of bullet bills to deal with, as well as some Hammer Brothers throughout the level. If you time your jump correctly, like I did there, you're actually able to take out both Hammer Brothers with a single jump. If you do need to, you can gain some extra lives by using the glitch with that beetle like we did with the turtle back in World 3. World 7-2 is another one of the underwater levels. Once again, we have a lot of bloopers to deal with as we move through the water. This underwater level is the same design as the other previous water levels, so getting through it in terms of design isn't any tougher, except there's a lot more enemies on screen, and some of those can be a little bit tricky getting past, especially this blooper right here if you're trying to rush. Also, there's no upgrades underwater, so you won't be able to find a mushroom or a fire flower. World 7-3 is another bridge level with a lot of flying Cheep Cheeps, so just like before, you'll want to get through it quickly and trying to avoid as many of these Cheep Cheeps as you can while jumping from the platforms. World 7-4's castle is another maze, and you have to know which path to take to get through it. Start off by going across the bottom area. jump up to the middle level, and then jump up to the top to get past the first area. Second area is a little bit trickier. Run across the top, then drop down and run under the first platform, run across the middle, drop down, and then use the third platform in order to get up to the top. Once you get past it, you have to dodge a few fireballs before dealing with Bowser again. World 8-1 is the first level of the last world of the game. A lot of the level is broken up into these individual platforms that have a little bit of a gap between them. Spaces that are only one gap long you can actually run straight across, but the gaps will get bigger and bigger on these areas as we go through the level.